Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson with your news from around the Columbia Basin for Monday, November 19th. Tonight we report on the upcoming Moses Lake Irrigation and Rehabilitation election and get a glimpse at how Saturday's Moses Lake Turkey Trot turned out. We'll learn what a state committee decided on the proposal to change the name of Soap Lake. And we'll hear about rising employment numbers in Washington State, especially in the aerospace industry. In sports, we take a look at high school and college football. Our spotlight story tonight is on the Moses Lake Museum and Art Center's holiday show, which drew dozens of people to the Moses Lake Civic Center on Friday. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story, the Moses Lake Irrigation and Rehabilitation District Board of Directors will have a new face come next year. Moses Lake business owner David Skog and former Grant County Undersheriff Ken Kernan are competing for the seat now held by Rich Archer, who won't be running for re-election. In a recent MLIRD board meeting, Kernan said he's running to bring balance to the board and protect the water quality of Moses Lake. Skog, too, would make improving water quality a priority and said he'd develop an aggressive herbicide program to control aquatic weed growth. The candidates are expected to participate in a forum at the Moses Lake Civic Center on November 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. Everyone who owns property in the MLIRD is eligible to vote December 11th. Absentee ballots are available through the MLIRD by email at mlird@mlird.org or by contacting the district office at 509-765-8716. Dozens of hardy people braved a cold, wet morning on Saturday to take part in the second annual Moses Lake Turkey Trot. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
It was cold, it was windy, it was damp, but it was for a good cause. About 100 people turned up Saturday morning for the second annual Turkey Trot 5K fun run at Blue Heron Park in Moses Lake. Event coordinators Carrie Grant, Tara Bikendova, and Brooklyn Fankasu joined about 20 other volunteers to put the event together in support of the Susan G. Komen Cancer Foundation. They said this year's Turkey Trot brought in about $4,000, which is a few $1,000s less than last year's inaugural run. The reduced turnout may have been due to the cloudy skies. Of the 100 hardy souls who did brave the elements, 36 received medals in a number of divisions for adults and kids. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Thanks, Ryan. A Mattawa man was allegedly admitted to raping a 5-year-old girl following a violent argument with the girl's mother November 10th. Prosecutors charged 25-year-old Juan Juarez with first-degree rape of a child in Grant County Superior Court last week. According to the police report, the mother fled the residence during a violent argument with Juarez. The woman returned home to find her daughter's clothing covered in blood, and she confronted Juarez. He allegedly threw a pipe at her before she escaped to call 911. Responding deputies reported had to use a taser on Juarez twice before he was taken into custody. The young girl was taken to a Yakima hospital for intensive care treatment. According to the report, a doctor there told police it was the worst case he had seen in his 4 years at the hospital. The State Department of Corrections is looking for more people with arrest warrants. Each of the people you see here have warrants for their arrest and are wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these individuals, the DOC asks that you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day, or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We'll be right back after these messages with the latest from our iFIBER 1 Weather Center.